And welcome to our town hall meeting on teenagers. How was everybody's trip in? I hear the roads are getting nasty. No?
It's more foggy.
Oh, it's foggy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for finding your way through the dense fog and being here tonight. I'm really excited about this town hall. I'm Barbara Lee Van Porsen. I'm the experimenter at the Momentum Center. We are a grassroots movement to create a stigma-free community. And one of the ways we do that is by holding these town hall meetings. That's actually where we started, by having community conversations. And so there's a give and take relationship here. After the first town hall meeting, we formed the Mental Illness Task Force, and then the task force decides what town hall meetings we have to have, and the two continue to inform each other. So I just wanted to tell you a few things that we've accomplished as a community, because it is about listening to what you have to say and then bringing that to some action. We started the town halls in January 2017. We now have a variety of community trainings, both QPR and mental health first aid, and a special thanks to Mosaic Counseling tonight for providing the QPR training. If you haven't done QPR training yet, I highly recommend it. It stands for Question, Persuade, Refer, and it's suicide prevention training. Only takes an hour, it's free. We offer it before all of the town hall meetings, but there's other times you can do that. If that doesn't work, you can contact Mosaic or us, and we can let you know when those opportunities are. We also offer support groups as a result of requests that have come from town hall meetings, including our family support group for people who have family members or loved ones with significant mental illness. We have Smart Recovery, which is a non-steps program, a non-faith approach to recovery from all kinds of addiction. And we have a support group for people who have lost loved ones because of addiction. We also operate the Momentum Center for Social Engagement, and that came directly from these conversations. It's a social and recreational program for adults with mental illness, addictions, and disabilities, and also for young people, age 11 through 17, 18 if they're still in high school. Costs $1 a year to join, and it's all about connecting people to positive community, especially people who might be at risk of isolation. For that $1, you get to participate in all the activities, all the outings, all the events at no extra cost. So we have a table over here. If you need more information about that, please ask. We also started the Salmon Run to Erase Stigma this past year as part of Salmon Fest, so that'll come up again next September. And again, the town hall meetings. We do have another one planned coming up. It'll be in March, and it will talk about mental illness in prison before, during, and after. So be watching for announcements about that. If you signed up for, when you sign up for your email at the town hall, we don't automatically add you to our email list. We do put you in a list so we can notify you of other town hall meetings. So make sure you give us that email so we can let you know. If you do want to be on the Momentum Center mailing list, we have a separate sign up over at our booth, and make sure to do that as well. And then the last thing is we launched our first awareness event just a month or so ago at Lakeshore Middle School, dealing with teenage anxiety. So a lot of things have come out of these conversations, and I just want you to know that that's why we're together. We don't want to just raise awareness. If we want to just do that, we can stay home and Google and learn. If we're going to put the energy into coming together and being in community, something should come out of that. Some idea of what we can do as individuals or as a community to address the issues that we're talking about. If you haven't been to a town hall before, this is our agenda. A welcome and some introductions. And then after my initial words, we'll turn it over to our panelists, who I'll introduce in a moment. They'll each speak for 10 minutes, and then we'll have an opportunity for question and answer. After that, they're going to join the tables. They're going to disperse themselves so that somebody's sitting, hopefully, at each of the tables, so we can have small group conversation and then large group brainstorming as we plan our next steps. So we have a few changes on the list here, but we do have Claire from Spring Lake High School. Welcome, Claire. We have Lexi, also from Spring Lake. Barbie, also from Barbie from Grand Haven. Sorry. And Nick from Grand Haven. We were supposed to have Jackson with us tonight from Grand Haven, but he's sick. So please send positive thoughts, healing energy toward Jackson tonight. And then from the Lighthouse program, we also had a little bit of illness. So we do have Madison from the Lighthouse program. We have Aliana. And we have Tori from Lighthouse. Want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Our sponsors are Ottawa County, North Ottawa Community Healthcare System, Grand Haven Area Public Schools, and the City of Grand Haven. So we're very grateful for their support, for encouraging these conversations, and for helping us spread the word so that people like you know to be here on a night like tonight. And our refreshment sponsors tonight are Aldea Coffee, wonderful Aldea Coffee. We do have regular and decaf, it's late at night. And Just Goods has provided cookies tonight. So thanks to our refreshment sponsors. So I know that we like to imagine childhood as carefree and innocent. And for some of us, that may have actually been the case. But from my perspective, it's never been particularly easy to be a kid. Growing up always comes with growing pains. Every kid will eventually learn about pain and disappointment and grief. But today, that whole process between being born and becoming an adult seems to be more difficult than ever. According to the American Psychological Association, the stress level of American teenagers today has reached a level equal to that of adults, except during the school year, when it's higher than the anxiety level of adults. And stress is not anything to take lightly. Stress leads to illness, and it can have a significant impact on a teenager's developing brain. In fact, mental illness is at a crisis level. Today in Ottawa County, in a classroom of 30 students, 5 of those students have seriously considered suicide, and 2 of them have made an attempt. The average age of onset now for depression and anxiety is just 7 years old. These are numbers that we have to pay attention to. We have to develop health within the foundation in which our children are being raised. Teenagers can build resilience that can protect them from the effects of stress and trauma. Psychologists say that having a grandparent who loves you, or a teacher who understands and believes in you, or a trusted friend you can confide in, can alleviate the long-term effects of early trauma. What else can we do? If we really want to help young people, we need to listen to them. If we ask, and we sincerely want to hear what they have to say, they will give us their voice. They will tell us how we can help them, which is what we have an opportunity to do today as we listen to our panelists tell us about their experiences as teenagers today and what they need from the adults in their lives. So we do have an impressive panel, students from Grand Haven High School, Spring Lake High School, and the Lighthouse Girls Treatment Program. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Lighthouse, it's open to young ladies aged 12 to 17 who are under court jurisdiction in juvenile detention. The program is designed to provide intervention through daily groups, individual treatment work, and weekly family sessions. One last thing before we hear from our young people are our communication guidelines, our ground rules for conversation. We go over these every time we have a conversation because it's important that we're all at the same, have the same expectations for our relationship building tonight. The first one is honesty. We don't get together to debate who's right and who's wrong, but to be willing to share our honest experience and feelings, and to be willing to listen to the honest experience of others. Equality. We have our panelists, but we are all equal and valuable contributors to the conversation. Respect. All of us have preconceived ideas that can get in the way of our listening to each other. So we want to be mindful of that so we can put those perceptions aside for a moment and remain respectful of ourselves and others. We want to try to practice active listening In our society, we're really good at multitasking, doing a lot of things at the same time. Often, when we should be listening, we're thinking about what we want to say. So I'm going to challenge all of us to really give our attention to whoever is speaking as we go through the night. And responsibility. We all have hot buttons, and they can be triggered unintentionally. If that happens, we want to be able to name it without blaming anybody for it, taking ownership and responsibility for our words as well as our feelings. And finally, this is a shame-free zone. Even when we're trying to affect major change, shame is not an element that works well for that. Shame just tends to drive behaviors further under the surface, and it makes people afraid to share what they're honestly thinking. So we don't move into shame when we're together. Is everybody okay with those ground rules? Is there anybody who thinks they're going to have difficulty following the ground rules tonight? Seeing none, we can proceed. Excellent. So each of our panelists, as I said, the names are going to be a little wrong up here. I apologize for that, last minute illness adjustments. But they each have 10 minutes. We have a timekeeper. And they've each decided to come up to the lectern to speak. So first, I want to welcome Claire from Spring Lake High School. She's taller than me.
Hello. Whoa. I'm Claire. I'm going to be talking about an issue that has multiple names, some of them more action-provoking than others. Global warming, climate change, ecological breakdown, climate crisis. Currently, global warming is happening at an alarming rate, and this is largely due to human activity, the emissions of greenhouse gases, and other things. Last summer, I attended an environmental leadership program in Alaska. You might have heard of the term environmental or climate justice, which is the idea that those who have the smallest ecological footprint and contribute the least to climate change are affected the most. I saw this up close when I was in Alaska. They're influenced every day by climate change directly. The winters come later, which changes the growing season of many crops and plants. Sea level is higher, which displaces